It began with a bold promise for radical change.
An additional £28 billion of capital investment in our country's green transition for each and every year of this decade. Conference, that is what a Labour government will do.
Not anymore, it won't. In 2 years, the £28 billion pledge had been watered down 3 times, and for months, briefings have suggested it was about to be dropped entirely. The Labour leader, though, has in recent weeks been insisting that the figure is worth fighting for.
It's absolutely clear to me that the Tories are trying to sort of weaponise this issue, the 28 billion, etc. This is a fight I want to have.
Today, that fight ran out.
What won't now happen is that we won't make further or new investment decisions, and that means that we won't reach the £28 billion envisaged, and that figure is effectively stood down.
Labour's new Green Plan now has a much smaller price tag. There's £8.3 billion for Great British Energy to invest in homegrown power, £7.3 billion for a national wealth fund, spent on things like cleaner steel and gigafactories, and £6.6 billion for a warm homes plan. Overall, it's £23.7 billion spent across 5 years. Labour says a windfall tax on oil companies will bring in £10.8 billion, meaning a total borrowing of £12.9 billion, a huge cut from the £140 billion first promised. This is all about avoiding the charge of reckless Labour spending.
It's pretty fine, isn't it?
But the Prime Minister still on the offensive.
He's someone who has just consistently changed his mind on a whole range of major things, and I think that is an absolutely legitimate thing to point out, and it demonstrates that he doesn't have a plan for the country.
This isn't just a story about Labour's policy on the environment or the scale of its ambition when it comes to borrowing to invest. This has also been an episode about the Labour Party seemingly pushed around by the Conservatives, that finds it incredibly difficult to make tricky decisions and has prompted questions about what Keir Starmer's Labour really believes in.
What the party is trying to do is to isolate itself from any criticism that it's going to have to raise taxes or have to put an additional burden. What they have to realise is that this is the way of growing the economy.
A U-turn dragged out for months that split his party and fuelled criticism of flip-flopping. How will he handle the harder decisions to come? Sam Coates, Sky News, Westminster.